Another interesting story that is coming in, I think, and which was a big one, Jio Financial Services and BlackRock. BlackRock is going to come back to India. It exited when in 2018 with DSP, and now it's coming back to India with Jio Financial Services. It's going to be a JV. What does it offer to people?
It basically means that hold on to your plans of investing in any kind of SIPs or mutual funds. There's going to be a whole new bunch of financial products hitting the markets. That's what it basically means. And more competitively priced products, more attractive products. These are financial products. It's going to come with a international collaboration, maybe better this time around. Bear in mind, we've had financial products being thrown at the Indian consumer with international collaboration. In other areas, for example, there was Future General Insurance, which sounded cool but doesn't exist anymore. So my only fear is that when foreign companies come into India with a JV to sell financial products, their longevity in the Indian market is what I would be concerned with at this stage. But that's a long-term call. To start with, BlackRock is a huge financial entity from overseas, was there in the Indian market, is now back in the Indian market with no less than Jio Financial Services. So that to me is more of in a sense a consolation than BlackRock coming in, because BlackRock can come in with any partner, could have come in with any partner. The fact that it's coming with Jio Financial and it's a 50-50 joint venture. I mean, come on, world's largest asset manager coming into India with India's largest and most valuable company's financial services arm. That has got to be trustworthy at this stage, at least for sure. And more importantly, I am anticipating that Jio will do what it did with the OTT business and the telecom business to the financial services business as well. Really, that's my expectation. What did Reliance do with retail? What did Reliance do with telecom? What did Reliance do with OTT? So, they walk in, change pricing, change the fundamental dynamics of all this thing, how these things work, and then take price out of the equation because they can. I'd love to see what they will do with financial products and financial services, because that's the next panacea as far as the Indian consumer is concerned, because Indian consumer did not get imported products and services from before. Now they get everything. From your Zara clothes to your iPhones, you get everything in India. The one thing that you really find it tough to trust and put your money in is a financial services product.
Okay.
And that's the reason why you have so many financial services influencers, fin influencers, and fintech influencers, and fintech companies popping up, because it's difficult for people to decide. Maybe Jio and BlackRock make it easier for consumers to decide in India, Shweta.
Absolutely. And Jio Financial Services, it's been days since they made a foray into the market, price discovery happened, and we've sat here, we talked about how they're going to spook their competitors. And nothing bigger than this. Kartik, entering with one of the biggest players in the asset management industry, BlackRock, bringing them back to India. I think sky's the limit for what it comes to when we talk about financial assets that you can invest in.
So I believe, Shweta, the news is not as much about the BlackRock JV as it is about Jio Financial Services becoming an AMC, an asset management company. It is no longer going to be just a lender. It is not going to continue to be another fintech service provider. This is going to be a full-fledged AMC. Now, just when you thought that, Jio is or Reliance is present in every industry anyway, and there is very little left for Reliance to compete with at an industry level, it goes, knocks on the door of Motilal Oswal and says, hey, wake up, I'm in town and I'm here to eat part of your lunch. It goes to the likes of ICICI Securities, HDFC, pretty much, every financial institution has an AMC wing of its own. And all of them continue to fight over the size of the assets under management, the AUM, because the more AUM you have, the more transactions that happen on your platform, the higher is the revenue that you draw by way of whatever little 1%, 1.2%, commission, exit load, total expense ratio. These are all technical terms in the mutual fund industry, but every time there is a transaction and every time there is an investment, your AUM grows, and that gives you the capacity to deploy those funds across various asset classes and return to your investors a market-beating alpha, as it is called, an alpha over and above what an index fund is going to offer you. But to begin with, it is estimated that this JV between Jio Financial Services and BlackRock is going to only come with index funds.
Okay.
They're going to be passive investing tools, not active investment tools, primarily to ride on the wave of passive investing by way of mirroring the investments of indexes. So let's say there's going to be a Nifty passive fund, index fund, there's going to be a Sensex index fund, a Nifty bank fund, a Nifty IT fund, etc., which is going to hold the shares of companies in the same ratio as the index. Now, with Jio's overall reach through its telecom services, I think getting investors and communicating with potential investors to financialize their savings by way of market-driven investments is going to be easier than existing AMCs like Motilal Oswal or HDFC Bank or ICICI Bank, who together, and I may dare to say perhaps even cumulatively, may not have as many customers as Jio has, right? So it's going to be difficult for others to compete with the volume of data that Jio can reach out to and encourage. And Krishna was talking about, BlackRock being a US-based investment firm, and this trust component or the trust deficit in parking your money in international joint ventures. I think that gets offset with the trust of Reliance, with the trust of Jio. So overall, I'm excited with this new entrant. At the same time, we haven't seen too many new entrants yet. Let's say talk about Navi mutual funds, which Sachin Bansal, Flipkart founder, invested in, didn't take off.
Didn't take off. We don't know whether this is going to take off. But then you have Jio. You've got the name Reliance backing you up. You've got the name Ambani's backing you up, and all of that account for a lot more than what we can think. Yes, Amit.
For all you know, it may be a carpet bombing of products into the market.
Jio, it's a nice
Reliance
phrase.
does that,
I quite like this phrase. and as Reliance is known to do it, could do it in this sector as well.